The reason why you experienced the betrayal was so therefore you could become aware of God. The reason why you experienced the betrayal so therefore you could become aware of yourself. The reason why you experienced the betrayal is so therefore you could become aware of the universe. The reason why you experienced the betrayal is so therefore you become aware of your ancestors. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, High Guidance, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So disclaimer. Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. Now, of course, when it comes to your healing journey, there is no right or wrong way to heal yourself. So always take what resonates and only take what resonates and leave the rest, as well as getting your pen, your paper, and taking your notes. The reason why we experienced betrayal wasn't because we deserved to be hurt. Wasn't because we deserve to be touched on. Wasn't because we deserve to be beaten on. Wasn't because we deserve to be bullied. It wasn't because we just deserve to suffer and struggle. The reason why we experienced the betrayal was so therefore we can understand externally what's not for us and internally what is us, who you are as a person. You have to realize that when you have a divine light, when you're special, when you're beautiful, when you're intelligent, when you're smart, which you are, and all of these things, regardless if you feel that way about yourself or you know that, people who do not feel that way about themselves are able to sense that. People are able to recognize that. People are going to see that. And unfortunately, if you're like myself, people who are not aware of themselves will try to come into your life and they will try to take from you. You've also experienced betrayal from yourself. But before we get into that, we're going to talk about externally. You have to realize the only reason why people, places, and things outside of you were able to betray you or hurt and harm you was because you are yourself, because you are loving, you are light. People are not going to try to disturb people's peace, take from them, lie on them, spread rumors, and gossip about them if you were these bad things and some more. Logically, it doesn't make any sense. Emotionally, there is no correlation. You see, it's not the fact that you're naive. It's not the fact that you're ignorant. It's not the fact that you're dumb or you're stupid, right? Because you could be naive. You could be innocent. It's the simple fact that you were you, whether you are aware of yourself or not. You see, we don't just become something that we weren't already. You cannot transform into something that you're not already. Regardless if you were taught how smart, how beautiful, regardless if you were shown that at an early age or throughout your life, you are. If you weren't, nobody would be worried or checking for you. I don't know why this is so challenging for me to speak. So I rebuke any negativity towards my root chakra from anybody who doesn't want me to explain or delay this or expose this message. Not delay the message, delay the message. If you guys are getting what I'm saying. But anyways, and I'm not going to edit this. So you guys know this is in real time. But you have to realize that a lot of times when people are not happy with themselves, they don't have any problem going out their way to hurt and harm you. And that's what that people do, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, psychologically, consciously, etc. Why? Well, because they're hurt. Or they enjoy seeing satisfaction from thinking that they're better than people, which they're not. You did not get betrayed from these people for no reason. So in this video, we're going to go over recommendations on how you can continue to move forward, so therefore you don't end up turning into these people. But most importantly, you can graduate from your isolation period. You can move forward and receive the blessings and abundance that is your birthright. Because that's another thing. When people know that you're destined to be somewhere or you're destined to do something, they want a piece of the pie. And I'm going to be honest with you. You didn't lose anything. You didn't lose yourself. You see, when you are whole on the inside, and that's what people can't touch, is your spirit, is your energy. It doesn't matter what people do on the outside. Like, yes, maybe you physically have gone through some trauma, maybe mentally you've gone through some trauma, emotionally, maybe you lost your job, your car, your clothes, your family, friends, etc., right? But who you are as a person, that can never be taken away from you. Your spirit, your joy, your energy, that can never be taken away from you. And most importantly, your destiny, where you're supposed to be in this life. People don't have control over you. They don't. Especially, like I said, if you believe in yourself, God, ancestors, in the universe. And even if you do, even if you don't, take what resonates, leave the rest. I'm not here to force religion or spirituality onto you. If you were not betrayed externally, you would not realize who you are internally. And a lot of times, once again, it's not the fact that you are not aware of yourself, because you do have some people like myself who were shown love as a child, who were told that they were loved. It may not have been by everybody. It may not have been your family or friends, but there was one person or a couple of people in your life who were there for you, who did protect you, who did love you, who did install certain things in you. And even if you weren't experiencing that, nobody would try to do things to you if they didn't know those things about you. And a lot of times it's not until we grow older, or these people in these places and things have been removed out of our lives, that we're able to understand, okay, the only reason why this happened to me or I experienced this was because of this. Because a lot of times it's so easier to point the finger at other people. Now, I'm not saying that what you felt was invalid, or that you never went through the things that you did, or that people didn't do certain things, because they definitely did. But speaking from experience, blaming them is not going to help your situation. Why? Well, because one, they wanted that to happen to you. Like, what people have done to you, that's what they wanted to happen. And two, when you blame other people and you put so much focus on them, you give them your power, you give them your energy, you give them their joy. And me personally, out of the 28 years of my life, I will never, I wish I could jump through this phone right now and let you guys know, I will never, in the history of Ninja shout out to Kyle Williams, I will never allow anything or anybody think they could ever get close. Nobody, maybe less than 3 people out of my entire life I've ever let actually get close. Like, I'm talking about close. Try me, or in my space, or in my energy, to disturb my peace and hurt and harm me. And the people that did get close to me, they didn't disturb my peace. They didn't hurt and harm me. You cannot allow your past to block you from the opportunities and the people and the places and things who you're meant to resonate with, who you're meant to connect with, because everyone's not going to hurt and harm you. Like, if you were betrayed by a significant other, you need to know that there's a man and a woman right now in the world who's not going to do that to you, and they deserve the best version of you. They're not going to judge you about your past, because they have a past too. So if people are judging you in a relationship, ladies, that man is not for you. Men, if that lady's bringing up certain things, she's not for you. And it's just like, make it simple, make it plain. You guys hear that noise? Make it simple, make it plain. Same thing when it comes to friends. If they want to talk badly about you but then be in your face, they're not your friends. Same thing with your family members. If you are always loving and you're always there for them, those people are not for you. And it's just like, leave the past in the past. You have to grieve. It does hurt your feelings in the moment, but it's just like, when you take a step back and you realize that people wanted you to feel less of yourself because they felt less of themselves, you don't need to go back and forth with them, because that's not who you are. Regardless, like I said, if you were shown love or not, you need to start questioning, why would people do this to me? This doesn't mean that you and I haven't gone through certain things in our life, but I can guarantee, if you do resonate with my videos, you didn't go out your way to hurt and harm people. You didn't go out your way to sabotage people. And if you did do anything that wasn't right, if you did sin, it wasn't until after you experienced the betrayal. Like, you didn't necessarily start to hurt and harm people or match certain people's energy until they started doing certain things to you. You didn't start cursing out people, pulling up on people's houses, beating them up, and doing all this other stuff until they did that to you. You did it out of righteous anger. Now, of course, from a mature level, because I don't condone violence and to hurt and harm people, 2 wrongs don't make a right. But when you do something out of righteousness, like if somebody's provoking you and somebody hurts and harm you, and God allows it to happen, your ancestors in the universe allows you to happen, and you don't get certain consequences other than to separate yourself, you're going to do what you do. But the goal is to completely just remove ourselves from people, because you also have to realize, when people try to sabotage you, they want to bring out the worst in you. And that's what I had to realize. People want to bring out the worst in you because they're worse. They're worse. They're horrible people. There are some horrible people in this world. And at the end of the day, That's for God and the ancestors and the universe to judge them. So we don't need to judge them, but we need to call it like it is. We need to say it for what it is. And that's okay. What makes you a horrible person? Intentionally hurting and harming somebody when that person did nothing to you. Premeditating, looking at people, saying, yeah, I seen you, or this and this, and having these motives and these agendas. And this person did nothing to you. Like I said, when somebody does something to you, that's different. Because you could be defending yourself. And that's what you did. You defended yourself when these people attacked you. Those are two different topics for two different videos. Because I'm never going to tell you not to defend yourself. Because at the end of the day, everyone is not me, you guys. Everyone is not going to be the peace and love and be the bigger person. People, sometimes they're going to deal with their consequences. And like I said, certain things are going to happen. And in due time, everything is going to be revealed. But speaking from experience and to keep it on topic, when it comes to betrayal, the best thing that you can do is remove yourself, go in your isolation period, forgive yourself, grieve, talk about what's happened to you, acknowledge how it makes you feel. But I need you to continue to stay back on your track and continue to get focused to back to who you are, because you will snap out of it. When you see this on YouTube, when it shows up on your For You page, or you type my name, or you hear about these type of videos and you're liking them, and you're saving them, and you're sharing them, and you're following for more and turning on your post notification, you're subscribed, I need you to do what you need to do. You're going to get back to who you used to be. And what I mean by who you used to be, your energy, your spirit, like who you were meant to be. So you'll get back to who you're meant to be. You're going to grow in life. You're going to change. Like, your mindset's going to change. You're going to evolve. But who you're meant to be, like your destination, your purpose, you're going to fulfill it. It doesn't matter how anybody feels towards you. And that's what people are going to learn along the journey. The more and more people try to betray you and hurt and harm you, I promise you guys, every single person in my life that has tried to hurt and harm me, not only will they be removed, but when it comes to karma, you're going to hear about it. You will hear about it. You will hear about it, or you will see about it. You will be a witness. I promise you. And I put that on my Most High. I put that on my ancestors. I put that on my divine femme. You're going to hear about it. You're going to hear about it. You're going to see about it. But if you know anything about energy, if you're really intuitive, you don't want to be a witness, but it will come back to you if it needs to. You don't have to go out your way to sabotage and hurt people. You don't need to match fire with fire. You don't need to clean dirt with dirt. You need to separate yourself. Don't make excuses for none of these people. And unless these people come back with an apology, do not give them a second chance. If they want to apologize, they can apologize. But me personally, I don't even want the apology. The best thing you could do is live your best life. Keep people from a distance and move on. If people don't change their behavior and they don't change their ways, and it's not genuine, because people can apologize all the time, they don't change their behavior. If they continue to do the same things, you don't need to be around them. You have to love yourself more than the hurt and the trauma that you experience. Because that's not love. It's not love. Emotionally, mentally, physically, psychologically, financially, that's not love. It was never love. Don't let nobody gaslight you. Don't let nobody manipulate you. These people, like I said, low vibrational. Now, when it comes to yourself, the biggest betrayal that you did was not trusting your intuition, was not trusting yourself, was not trusting your gut, was not being confident in what you know. You know you don't need proof. That's what intuition is. It's not science. It's not evidence. Intuition is internal feeling based off of your nervous system, your gut, your mind, your body, spirit, and soul. Amen. Amen. Ashe. Ashe. When you know something, you know it. So you also have to realize too that when you carry a certain type of energy, when you move a certain type of way, everybody's not going to know what you know. And that's okay. It doesn't need to be explained. Those who get it, they know. And a lot of times, let me tell you something. Some people do know, but because they have so much darkness, they'd rather act like they don't know. They'd rather act like you don't know what you're talking about. They'd rather act like you're just making up things just to say it. When they know. People know. So your best bet, learn to forgive yourself. Don't ever not ignore your intuition. Go to God, answers in the universe to confirm it, as well as yourself. Once again, whatever you choose to believe in. Allow people to be who they are, and know that if you weren't beautiful, if you weren't smart, if you weren't intelligent, if you didn't have somewhere to be, nobody would be trying to hurt and harm you. Most importantly, see things for what it is. The best advice I could tell you is to see things for what it is, not what you want it to be. Let it be, of course, and just remove access. Now, if you have to be around certain people, places, and things, like I said, keep it to a certain level of professionalism. Continue to work into yourself. But when it's time, you will be moved. I'm telling you from experience, it will be stripped away. You needed to learn how to be independent in yourself. Once again, you may not have known these things about yourself. You know now. You can't go back in the past. And you shouldn't want to go back in your past, because there's nothing there for you other than hurt, harm, and betrayal. But the betrayal was necessary. The betrayal was not to hurt and harm you. It was to help build you. It was to help strengthen you. So therefore, like I said, now when it's time for you to get the things that you worked for, that you prayed for, that you deserve, because it's your birthright and it was going to happen regardless of how anybody felt, you can maintain it. You can sustain it. You can be in healthy relationships. You don't have to worry about red flags. And if you do see red flags, you clock it immediately. It doesn't matter who it is. You're not going back and forth, like I said. You're not allowing people to bring out the worst in you. You're not over-explaining yourself. You're not constantly giving and giving and giving, because it's nothing wrong with being loving. It's nothing wrong with being kind. It's nothing wrong with being nice. All these dusty, crusty, musty, fugly, ugly people who thought being nice, being kind, being respectful, having morals, having integrity made you weak. Capital L. Big loser, big lame. That's disgusting. It's degrading. It's disrespectful. Oh, I'm not going to be a kind person. I'm not going to be a nice person. I'm not going to support them. I'm not going to help them. I'm going to kick them while they're down. You're disgusting. Disgraceful. All these D's. That's not a good letter when it comes to the grading system. Imagine a report card getting straight D's. That's not cute. Desensitized. Dehumanized. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. So, nobody took anything from you that was yours. If they stole from you, you could get the stuff back. If they hurt and harm you, now you got to learn how to defend yourself, or like I said, separate yourself. They said something to you, now you learn how to communicate. You know how to speak up now. You know when and when not to speak. You know when to pour your time, your energy, and effort. You know when, if you need to check people. You know when to say certain things or when not to say certain things. If you weren't as confident, now you know, walk in a room with your head up, chest out, chin up, nose straight, smile. You don't need to dim your light. You don't need to make everybody else feel comfortable, because when you're around the right people, nobody's gonna do those things to you. It's always, like I said, the crusty, musty, fugly, ugly, bugly, in the words of Tia Kim. These people that aren't even meant to have access to you, and that's why people do what they do. They did what they did because they knew they couldn't afford you. They knew they couldn't even be around you. And once again, if you are like me and you're just a cool fly guy, and you know, like, giving is not anything hard for you to do, because you know how the universe and God answers to work, because you're always going to be blessed, then you don't need to trip, because it's just like, those people needed love. Like, the people who thought they was going to come into my reality and shake up the room, they needed love. They needed attention, because they didn't feel that way about themselves. Because if somebody was beautiful, if they were just as beautiful as you, and I'm not talking about just looks, but if they were intelligent, if they were so smart, if they were so financially stable, if they were that girl, if they were that guy, if there was really all that in a bag of chips, then why would they try to humble you? Why would you try to come into somebody's life and hurt and harm them, or spread lies and rumors and gossip? Like, they did all that because they know that they weren't those things. And a lot of times they will never be, because they are just choosing to be wicked. It's a choice. That's what people realize. It's a choice between being a good person and a bad person. Nobody has to be mean and harm. Nobody has to hurt you. Nobody has to do anything intentionally. Like, we all go through trials and tribulations, but everyone does not project. Everyone does not deflect. And the people that do, they know what they do. So just know that the betrayal was necessary. And when you see this and it resonates with you, let me know your experience, and let me know if you guys want a step-by-step tutorial on what you need to do on how to move forward from betrayal, as well as, excuse me you guys, I keep burping, what videos and topics that you guys want me to continue to talk about. Once again, make sure to follow me on all social media platforms. All the information will be down in the description box below. Thank you. I will keep the lady's name who asked me the question about this on TikTok confidential. Make sure to follow me, like I said, on Instagram and TikTok. I will be on live until we reach our goal here on YouTube, which we're reaching any day now, so I can discuss this and, you know, like I said, say what needs to be said. And most importantly, don't be afraid to talk about it or anything, because anyways, okay? And make sure you guys do book a service in the session. I love you guys. But yeah, when it comes to betrayal, those people needed to experience you and you need to experience them. So therefore, like I said, you can receive and be around people who genuinely love you, the right people. Like, being around the wrong people is just unnecessary. And it's just like, you didn't lose anything. Like, cars, money, clothes, materials, stuff like that, you guys, all that stuff can be replaced. You know what can be replaced? Your life, your energy, your spirit, regardless of how anybody feels towards you. So if they don't like you, they think you're full of yourself, they think, okay, then you don't need to be here. You don't like somebody? Nobody says that you have to. Everyone has free will. You don't like what they say, you don't like what they look like, you don't like how they, then don't. Then don't. If you think this person is this and this and that, once again, why would you want to be with them? Why would you want to be with them? Why, like, whether they're your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your mom, your dad, like, if you really feel some type of way, then why go back and forth with them? So know that when it comes, sorry you guys, I'm multitasking. Let me end off the video. But just know that people betraying you, it's a reflection of them, and you really don't need to internalize it, because it's just like, them doing that just shows you what's inside of them. And once you see what's inside of somebody, separate yourself. Okay? Love you. Bye.